welcome to Seoul! I'm in the middle of Mount Namsan, which has one of the most stunning views of Seoul from above. Hi, I'm Sophie, and I'm going to share everything I know from living here for 3 years now. The best Korean food, hidden gems, cultural experiences, and local spots. We will also dive into day trips to cities like Suwon or Jeonju. And make sure you stick until the end because I'm going to break down the best time to visit Seoul with a full month-by-month guide. Let's dive in, starting with the map. Seoul is bigger than you think. It's surrounded by 14 mountains, so hiking is good here. And there is an iconic river flowing right in the middle of the city. And that's why Seoul feels so breathable and well designed. With subway line 2 looping around key areas, getting around the city is made easy using Naver Map set to English. And if you're wondering which hotels I recommend or where to stay in Seoul, I got you! Everything is listed on my planning profile, along with guides I personally created from my trips to Japan, Hong Kong, and Cambodia. Planning.com is a brand new platform with real recommendations and travel guides. You get to know all the cool destinations of your favorite travel creators. They've partnered with notorious travel agencies to bring you exclusive deals on over 2 million hotels worldwide. And guess what? If you sign up using my link below, you can save up to 40% on hotel rates. The first time I visited Seoul, I had no money and I stayed at a budget hotel in Hongdae. And now that I am older, I still think this area could be a cool place to be. It's English friendly, has a lot of amazing food, and is close to major spots like Myeongdong, Jongno, and Seoul Station. That said, I don't recommend the hotel I stayed at back then. Instead, check out Rise by Marriott, which is a way better hotel. So if you're traveling with a friend, you can split the cost and you can use that extra budget for more shopping. If you're into modern, creative spots, I highly recommend Seongsu-dong or Samcheong-dong, my personal favorite. If you're visiting with kids and looking for something family-friendly, Jamsil near Lotte World is perfect. Everything is listed on my planning profile, so check out the link in the description or QR code here to sign up and save on your next booking. Good price and location guaranteed. Cafe culture is rare in Korea. People will visit a cafe at least once a day. Actually, most of them, they open after 10 a.m. And if you're used to wake up early, then let me recommend you 2 places. The first one is called Mega Coffee. So that's a franchise you can find anywhere in Seoul. And this franchise has coffees like Ice Americano, which is a staple in Korea. And recently they added espresso. I also recommend Mammoth Cafe. The prices are around 1 to 3 USD. And recently there's a matcha trend. If you're a matcha drinker, you can get your matcha at Mammoth. For higher quality matcha, I can recommend Super Matcha, but they only have 1 star in Seoul for now. But we never know, they can have more later. If you don't mind going to a quiet Turk neighborhood, I would recommend going to Sochon. They have a cafe street that is just so cute and you usually don't have to wait to get inside, unlike the cafe streets of Ikseongdong that is now way too popular, so I don't know, it's your choice. You will also find cool cafes around Yongsan, Haebangchong, Itaewon, and Hanam area, but those areas are a little more pricey, so be ready to pay overpriced coffee. Korean food! Oh my god, Korean food! I feel like Korean food is just so underrated, because it is always the same dishes that get the spotlight. So we only talk about the chicken, the fried chicken, and the pork barbecue, but there is so much more to discover, like beef barbecue, braised chicken. Have you heard of hanjeonchik? That's like the traditional full course meal, because in the hanjeonchik you can basically taste everything about Korean cuisine, and you will realize that it is so delicious and much more diverse than you think. Oh, and have you heard of jokbal? I love jokbal. If if you're here in summer, you definitely have to try naengmyeon. You can basically order naengmyeon at any barbecue place. Ever since I've been to Korea, I've never been into a restaurant that was bad. The food was always delicious. But if you wanna see my pics, I've written everything on my blog.
네, 고맙습니다. 감사합니다.
As mentioned earlier, hiking is huge in Seoul. Whenever I have family or friends visiting over, I always plan a day of hiking. There are plenty of trails for beginners and also advanced hikers. I especially recommend the Seoul city walls. I really like the hiking portions of the west, east, and south of Seoul city walls that is going through Mount Namsan, so that's very cool. And how amazing it is to be able to enjoy it both during daytime and nighttime. It's always one of the best memories we make during the trip. There's just something very special about waking up a bit earlier than usual, hiking a picnic, and basically catching up as you wake up. The parks are also very amazing in Seoul. They always try to plant a lot of different varieties of flowers, so there is always one blooming at the time you visit. If you're in Gangnam or Jamsil area, I recommend you to go to the Jamsil Olympic Park. So that's a huge place that is meant for concerts and other kind of stage performances, but they also have a huge garden. There is also a new garden that was just remodeled called the Borame Park, and this park is currently running for the International Gardens. So it is beautiful. And aside from nature, Seoul is amazing when it comes to cultural experiences. If you're visiting Korea, you should know that there is a culture day each month, and this is happening every last Wednesday. So basically during that day, you can go to any museum and it will be free. If you love musicals, I have a good news for you. You can now watch the performances with live translation. I don't think you've really visited Seoul if you haven't been to Jongno. There's always something happening there. This is where you can find everything: Myeongdong, Namdaemun Market, Gwangjang Market, but also the Gyeongbokgung Palace and a lot of other cool places. And I have my favorites there. I personally loved Samcheongdong. This is where I have my top picks when it comes to cafes. And I had the best bingsu of my life at the Pyeongchanggyung flagship store. So they have on the second floor a cafe, and that was an amazing tea house. And also just in terms of landscape, Samcheongdong is such a beautiful place. I really recommend. The shopping in Korea is quite extraordinary. There are a lot of Korean brands you can find on internet, and I actually recommend you to select these shops so you know beforehand which neighborhood you want to visit. For example, Gentle Monster, Blue Elephant, they only have a few shops, so you really have to be careful, plan in advance which store you are visiting. If you like select shops, maybe go to Hanam. If you are into high-end brands, maybe plan a day visiting Shinsa, Apgujeong, and a department store. Actually, most Koreans, they buy from the same shops. I think visiting a mall will be very good because it's already segmented. And in Korea, there is this famous store called Mushinsa. Mushinsa is available for both women and men, so you can go as a couple and spend a good hour in the store. Just going inside the Mushinsa, you will understand the Korean trends. For skincare and makeup, you have to visit Olive Young. You can find them everywhere. If you like pop-up shops, I recommend Songsu. It is a good area for shopping. You have the Olive Young flagship store, but also the Mute flagship store. There are so many great options of day trips from Seoul. You can go visit Jeonju by train. That will take you maximum 3 hours to get there. This is like a good sized city to visit, famous for the Hanok villages, the food, and you can learn more about the history of the Joseon era. For transportation in Seoul, you need a card, and you can get them at the airport or at any convenience store. This is a very old one and still working. Nowadays, there is a new card. This one has some advantages. So if you can't get the climate card, there are also two types of buses, the in-city buses that are usually green and blue, and you also have the intercity buses that is usually red. And this one is going on the highway. So you can easily join the other cities around Seoul. I recommend Incheon if you wanna go to the sea. If you like mountains and forest vibe, Haju, but also Namyangju and Namyaland. And my favorite being Suwon, now famous for the Starfield Mall, but I actually recommend the Fortress. Your experience in Seoul will change a lot depending on the season. Winter is perfect if you're a foodie. You can try everything, and I know that in winter we are all so hungry. You can do some sledding by the Han River, skating also at City Hall. Winters are actually very harsh. There is some kind of breeze that will freeze you, so I highly recommend you wear some good padding jacket, okay? Because you will be needing that. And if you book a bus tour, you can go to Hwacheon Trout Festival. Spring is just the perfect weather with pretty flowers everywhere. Summer is hot and humid. If you can avoid the monsoon season, that will be great, because that's the best season to enjoy bingsu and naengmyeon. is ideal for the outdoor activities like hiking, and the views are just so beautiful with the trees turning yellow, red. The full foliage in Korea is incredible. I know that was a lot of information. If you have other tips or if you have more questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. And if you're planning a trip to Seoul and looking for hotel deals, don't forget to check out my travel guide on planning.com with the link below. And thank you for watching until the end. I will see you in the next one. Bye!